Have you ever wondered what it really takes to get an AI agent from a cool little demo to a product your business can actually count on? Well, it's a journey, and it's filled with all sorts of hidden dangers and surprising challenges. So, let's dive into the secret life of an AI agent and see what it takes to get it truly ready for the real world. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the core problem. I mean, you can spin up a prototype in a few minutes, but making it something you can actually trust, that's the real mountain to climb. And look, the stakes for getting this wrong are incredibly high. We're not talking about small technical glitches here. These are major business-level failures. Just imagine your customer service agent getting tricked into giving away free stuff, or an agent accidentally leaking sensitive company files. I mean, these are the nightmares that keep developers up at night. Now, get this. This number is what really blew my mind. A staggering 80% of the total effort isn't even spent on making the agent smart. Nope, it's spent on all the infrastructure, the security, and the validation needed to make it reliable and safe. That's where the real work is. So, how do you actually build that trust and reliability? Well, it all starts long before the agent ever even sees a real customer. The first major trial is this pre-production phase. You really have to think of it like a gauntlet that the agent has to survive to prove it's tough enough for the real world. The entire process, really, is built on one golden rule. And it's simple. No agent version should ever reach users without first passing a whole battery of evaluations. And this isn't just about whether the code runs. It's about proving its behavior is safe and reliable. And this rule gets enforced by an automated pipeline that works kind of like a funnel. First up, there's a pre-merge check that catches obvious issues with really fast tests. If it passes that, it moves on to a staging environment, basically a clone of the real thing, for some really heavy-duty validation. And only after surviving all of that does a product owner, give the final go for release. But even then, you don't just flip a switch and release it to everybody. No way. Teams use these really clever strategies, like a canary release, where maybe only 1% of users get the new version at first. Or they might use a blue-green deployment, which lets them switch back to the old version in a heartbeat if anything goes wrong. It's all about minimizing risk. I know what you're probably thinking. This sounds like a ton of work, right? A lot of hoops to jump through. So, why go through all this trouble? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. Because it gives you a production undo button. When issues inevitably pop up, and they will, these strategies allow you to instantly roll everything back to a state that you know works. It's your ultimate safety net. All right, so the agent has survived the gauntlet, it made it to production, but its journey is just beginning. Now it has to survive out there, in the wild, interacting with thousands of real, unpredictable users. You see, managing an autonomous agent in production isn't a one-and-done setup. Not at all. It's a continuous loop. You have to observe its behavior, you act to keep everything stable, and then you evolve it based on what you learn. The first step, observe, is kind of like the agent's sensory system. You've got logs, which are like the granular diary of exactly what happened. Then you have traces, which tell the narrative story of why it happened. And finally, you have metrics, which are like the high-level report card on its overall performance and cost. But of course, just observing is useless without action. So the act phase is all about real-time intervention. It's about managing that delicate, constant balance between speed, reliability, and cost. And, crucially, it's about having a circuit breaker ready to go, a big red button you can hit to instantly shut down a feature if a major threat is detected. And all of this leads to the most powerful step, evolve. This is where you actually learn from everything you've observed. Every single failure, every bug, every weird user interaction, it becomes a new test case. This creates this incredible virtuous cycle that makes the agent fundamentally smarter and safer over time. So let's say you've mastered this loop. You're a pro at operating a single reliable agent. But what happens next? Well, companies don't just build one agent. They build dozens. And that's when you face a new, even bigger challenge, getting them all to work together like an intelligent team. The problem is you end up with a company full of brilliant specialists that can't communicate with each other. The customer service agent has no idea how to talk to the fraud detection agent. And this just creates massive inefficiencies and traps valuable knowledge inside these little silos. So how do you fix this?
The solution lies in using two different communication protocols, each designed for a different kind of conversation. You've got MCP, which is for an agent talking to a simple tool. Think of it like a direct command. Do this one specific thing, like fetch the weather data. But then you have A to A, the agent-to-agent protocol. This is for complex collaboration between smart agents. It's not a simple command, it's a high-level goal, like analyze all our customer churn and recommend some new strategies.
A really great way to think about this is an AI auto repair shop. You, the customer, use A to A to tell the manager agent, hey, my car's making a weird rattling noise. The manager then uses A to A to delegate that complex job to a specialized mechanic agent. That mechanic agent then uses MCP to operate its specific tools, like a diagnostic scanner. And finally, it might use A to A again to negotiate with a part supplier agent to order a new part. It's this beautiful symphony of collaboration. So we've covered the pre-production gauntlet, that whole in-production loop of observe, act, and evolve. And now the protocols that let all these agents collaborate. These aren't just separate ideas. They all come together under a single unifying discipline. And that discipline is called AgentOps. It is the essential practice for transforming a fragile prototype into a robust, evolving production system that you can actually trust. It's the secret sauce that takes you from a cool idea to real, tangible business value. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this final question to think about. We've seen just how much work goes into making a single agent trustworthy and effective. But if one smart agent is that powerful, what becomes possible when an entire ecosystem of them learns to work together? The potential there is truly mind-boggling.